It was a game, I'll be completely honest with you, it just felt like the Saints had it controlled. It really, like, from the opening kick, I felt like, man, they're the aggressor. Like, they're doing a really nice job of keeping the Bengals at bay, and you felt like, at least I did, and obviously y'all are bigger Saints fans than I, but it just felt like, man, they've got the momentum in this game.
Yeah.
They've got their offense figured out. They're causing them issues in multiple places, and to me, it's like they're going to close this game out. Like, the Bengals are in real trouble, and to let them back in late, I didn't see the game going that way.
No, it's they wasted a perfect start. And you're right, Jake. They were in control for the majority of this game, right? But it did have the feeling of one of those games where you're trying to, the analogy I always think about is, you know, when you like, okay, you're a little kid or something, you're trying to hold water in your hands and you cup that water and you know, it'll stay there for a bit, but it's slowly leaking through. No matter what you do, you like just can't keep your hands airtight. And that's how this game felt. Like, when you keep settling for field goals and you can't really pull away. And then what did we just talk about on Friday? The thing that scared you the most about Joe Burrow isn't any of the physical skill set. It's not the numbers themselves or anything like that. What scared you the most is we have seen back against the wall Burrow and the ability, and Jamar Chase for that matter, we have seen what they can do when they have to do it. And because you settled for these field goals, you left the door open to them. And what did Joe Burrow do? He did exactly what Super Joe always does. He's the main character in the superhero movie. No matter how bad things look, he finds a way, right? Look, down 17-7.
Yeah.
Third down in the red zone. Looking dead to rights. What does he do? Run for a touchdown.
Yep.
Down 23-14. Third down. Dead to rights. What does he do? He literally dodges Pete Werner and Demario Davis and makes them trip over each other like they're a part of like a Three Stooges highlight reel, man. Like, he made two of the most athletic people I've ever seen in my life look like jokes. By the way, he owns Pete Werner. Like, the tire video, like, Pete Werner will never, ever, ever.
Yeah, I always forget
be able to get yes.
Because I'm a giant Pete Werner fan. Like,
Yeah,
I
he's
love
awesome.
the way he plays football. I always forget that he is the other guy in the tire pull video.
Yeah.
That is, like, before Joe Burrow even signed with LSU, we showed that video when me and Matt were doing nighttime radio, and we did like a full segment on it, and Matt was talking about, Matt literally said, if this guy comes to LSU, he's going to win a Heisman.
Oh, wow.
Off that
After
video.
the tire video.
After the tire pull video.
Damn. Okay, dude. Shout out. Well, and yeah, so he owns Pete Werner for eternity, unfortunately. Between the tire pull and now that's a bad look. And look, Zach Taylor said it after the game. Here's the quote. Sometimes when it looks like things are really bleak and dead, Joe finds a way kind of out of the mess. You don't know how he does it. He just does. And it's special to see when it happens. And man, what disappoints me more than anything, Jake, is despite that feeling like maybe you were letting it slip away, you still were set up for a second week in a row of 4-minute offense.
Yep.
And you were running the ball so well.
I mean, really well all day long.
Just dominating him, controlling line of scrimmage. And to be up with a chance to win it with a 4-minute offense on a day when you don't have any of your top receivers, you don't have Marshawn Lattimore on a day when you got to face Jamar Chase, and on a day where you're looking to go 3-3 instead of 2-4, like, you had done everything perfect. And then that 3rd and 4 play happens. And you end up throwing, which I don't hate the call there. I mean, I don't. If you want to run it 3 times or throw it, I don't really get the first down, right? You do whatever you think gives you the best chance to get the first down. And honestly, I think it was open. Like, if Trey Hendrickson doesn't hit Dalton's arm, I think he's got a very good chance of getting that to Johnson for a first down. Johnson was beyond the line. Well, I mean, you tell me, Jake. What do you think? Do you think Dalton completes this if he doesn't get hit? I mean, that guy's screaming down. It's going to be close.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure, T. I mean, you had a linebacker that was screaming, and so surviving the catch and all of that. And so, for me, if I'm in this situation, it's 3rd and 4. AK is going to be in the backfield. I'm going to be in 11 personnel. and I'm throwing something that's designed for him. I can put it in the air, that's fine, but I'm throwing something to him, a swing with a couple of blockers.
Makes a lot of sense.
I'm putting the ball in my best playmaker's hands. Now, you don't have to run it. If you ran it and tried to, take some clock or whatever, like, okay, we can have that talk, but for me, like, that's where I'm going with it. Because I'll be honest with you, T, watching this back now, I don't know that he survives that catch. I mean, you've got a linebacker screaming downhill at you.
That's fair.
I mean, 4-minute offense, and you were so successful running the football all day long. It's a mindset. It is something that you've got to go out there, and it's the most difficult to do, but it's also the most satisfying. And you know this being an offensive lineman, T, when you can close the game out and you get 3 yards. 3 yards. I'm like, okay, it's actually pretty. In 4-minute offense, you can set up a 3rd and 4. That's kind of what you try to get to.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of ideal in a lot of ways.
For me, that play call is not where I would have gone. I would have put you don't put it in your 4th, 5th best option's hands. You put it in your playmaker's hands.
Yeah, it's I agree. I mean, Dalton had been solid, I guess, but yeah, AK was having such a good game. I mean, that is one of the only good parts about yesterday is now for the 2nd game in a row, Alvin Kamara's looked like Alvin Kamara. 125 total yards on 25 touches. That's elite. That's exactly what you want out of Kamara. And then look, you hand the ball back to Super Joe when you fail on that 4-minute offense, which again was so fantastic last week. And Joe Burrow does what Joe Burrow does, and he finds Jamar Chase, and then Jamar does what Jamar does. Something very painful and confusing about watching Joe Burrow complete it to Jamar Chase and run away from Tyrann Mathieu. A lot of just a ton of bad conflicting emotions around that entire play, and
that's what Jamar's best at. I mean, he can run great routes, but him after the catch, he is truly like a running back. I mean, he's just breaking tackles left and right. I mean, you have the DB who's wrapped around his hip, and he never slows down, never really even breaks stride. Right? And then Tyrann comes in, hits him with a little false step there, gets Tyrann to stop his feet, and he runs by him as well. So that's what Jamar is elite at, and it's what won them the game.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, watching it back, that's too easy. And I realize that he is elite at that, probably the best in the NFL, or certainly in the top 3 as far as receivers after the catch. It's like, man, you got 2 players there, and you want to get that guy on the ground, no matter how good he is.
Yeah, and now and now it feels like the season is over. Let's maybe get into that.
I mean, you're still 1 game back in the South.
Well, okay, let's get into that next here on OTB. And things just feel bad right now. Everybody's hurt. You're 2-4. Look, I like Dalton, but I thought quarterback would be a strength on this team. I guess I just convinced myself in my head the growth from Jameis Winston, what I had seen. I thought we'd be talking about Jameis borderline top 10, top 12 guy in the NFL. So my expectations for this team were way off, especially with this new receiving core. Now the entire receiving core is hurt. Everybody you let go is doing great. You're 2-4. So there's just so much bad in the air. If there is one silver lining, Jake, you're saying that maybe the season isn't done here 6 weeks in.
Well, I don't think it is because of what you have in your division. Your division is still up for the grabs. And so it's not done. And it's not done. I mean, this sounds so cliche. It truly isn't done until it's done. And I've been in a situation in 2008 where the Denver Broncos were 8-4. Yeah. We were 4-8.
Damn.
Okay, now we had Denver in the last game. So it wasn't a 4-game lead because, it was a 3-game lead because we had a chance to play them at the end. But here's what we did. We rolled off 3 victories in a row. We got to 7-8. They lost 3 in a row, right? So they got to 8-7, and we had the tiebreaker if we beat them in the last game. And we found out on the plane coming back from Tampa Bay that we were going to have a chance. They lost to the Bills, and it was one of those situations where, okay, we go into a game, and, by the way, it didn't matter who we played. We would have won that game because we felt like we had a chance to get back in. We dominated them. I got fined a lot of money for that game. But it was a great situation, right? And so you can still be alive in any situation, but certainly in this situation. Tampa Bay is 3-3. Atlanta is 3-3. You're 2-4. You're 1 game out. Yeah. You are 1 game out, and you still have those teams left on your schedule. There is nothing that is lost. I actually think you've played your best ball here recently.
Yeah,
Like
last
even
2
in
weeks,
even in
yes,
the
yeah.
loss, like things
Fair.
look like they're going in the right direction. There's
Kamara.
offensively, without question, like you are starting to find your rhythm. Think about who you were out this game.
Yeah.
You were out your top 3 receivers. Really good. I mean, you lost Adam Troutman early in this game. You're tied in, okay? You're playing with a backup quarterback, although I think the backup quarterback is still the correct option for you. And you really, honestly, had a chance to close out the defending AFC champions.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, it's not as bad as it looks. Just like the tape. It's never as good. It's never as bad. Because of where the South is right now, you still have a chance. Because when you look across, like if you were in the North, okay, well, the Vikings are 5-1. You look at the East, well, man, the Eagles are 6-0. The Giants are 5-1. Dallas is 4-2. That's not the case in the South.
Yeah.
You have every opportunity. I just saw Tampa go on the road against Kenny Pickett, a rookie quarterback, and lose. Right
Yeah.
now, the Falcons, I can't figure them out. The Falcons are, I never would have had them at 3-3, but you've beaten them. Like in a game that you should not have won, you won that game. And so you're still in the mix. And if you can get healthy, now it's a big question mark, but if you can get healthy, there is nothing to say the Saints can't be in a postseason run.
Okay, so a little bright spot there for you amongst all the bad feeling darkness here on this Monday.